For the web app users, we need to create our footing details. So to create our footing details, we need to create a few layers. And the layers that we're going to need are on the Google Drive. Will be object lines, continuous, color 112, and then hatch continuous magenta. So let's go and create our layers first. The new layers will be the object lines. More colors, we'll have to go to more colors, and I think 112 is going to be this one right here. Apply, and then our new layer, another new layer will be hatch. And then the hatch color was going to be magenta, which should be this one right here. Okay. I'm going to start drawing with the object line, so I'm going to set that as current, and I can start drawing. I want to draw it off to the side over here. We're going to create a viewport in Paperspace here in a little bit, but I'm going to draw it using the information given to me for the handout for the footing detail. So the footing detail, this length doesn't really matter too much because remember it does continue throughout, but nonetheless it's going to be, I'm going to draw it about, I don't know, maybe about 2.5 feet or 3 feet or so. So I'm going to draw it in length about 2 feet or so, somewhere in there. I'm going to come down 2 feet over 1 foot. This way I'm not going to draw it anything in particular because what I'm going to offset, this one here, I'm going to offset that one to 4 inches. And then the structural part of the foundation, the footing detail, this one here is about 6 inches of sanded gravel. So I'm just going to offset that one at 6. This way I'm going to offset 6, and then this way I'm going to offset it 6 also. And then draw a line from this intersection to that intersection. And then erase these 2 lines and trim. Okay. I'll make this a little bit longer using the stretch command. Okay. Let's see. Doesn't matter really what I do next. I guess I'll do the 2x4 sole plate. That's just going to be an offset of 2 inches. This way 2, and then this one 4. And using a fillet, and trim. Okay. Continue with the vapor-proof membrane. That's going to be a 1/2 inch offset. Doesn't have to be 1/2 inch. I just want to make sure I have a little bit of a gap that's visible after I print it. 0.5. 0.5 all the way around. Favorite command, fillet. Okay. And then for the earth, don't forget that it doesn't have to be straight. I'm just going to draw like a squiggly line to represent earth on both sides. This is at 6 inches. This is at 1 foot. So to do that, I'm just going to use my polyline command and start from this endpoint here. As long as my ortho is off, because again, earth is not perfectly straight. It's a little crooked. Well, not crooked, but it's just not flat. And then this one at 1 foot, this way. And then I'll draw that polyline from that endpoint across like this. Erase this guy. And turn this line back. Okay. All right. The next thing I'm going to draw is probably going to be our rebar. So that one, wire mesh. We don't have rebar. The rebar is going to be in the corners here, but the hidden line is going to be representing our wire mesh. So I'm going to offset down about 2 inches. And then offset this one over 2 inches. 2 inches all the way around. And then fillet radius 0. extend. These, I want these to be under the hatch layer. So I'm hoping we can just kind of switch them here over to the hatch layer. And I need them to be, I'm going to force the line type to be hidden. Properties. And unfortunately, just like in the software, I don't think we'll be able to adjust the line type scale here like we did. Oh, we can. Very nice. I think we did with like a 0.5 or 0.4. Just, something that looks more like the handouts. Maybe even a little bit smaller, but that'll work for now. I want to draw in the donuts to represent the rebar, but the donuts are unsupported. Okay. So I guess what we could do is draw ourselves a circle, a diameter of 1/2 inch. Properties, I should probably change over to the hatch layer because that's what I'm using now. And I'm wondering if we can hatch the inside of it. Move the marker out of the way. Where is the hatch command? There it is. Perfect. Hatch. Can I change the pattern? Yes, I can. Perfect. Make it solid. So we're just going to put in a solid hatch pattern for the circles. We don't have the donut command, but we get the same effect. Okay. We need concrete, or sand, and earth. So let's go to our next hatch pattern. I guess we'll have to put it in after the fact. Unless I can change it before. Okay. I'll put it in for now. And then I'll change it right now. Oh, I need to draw in the long break line first. Using a polyline. Nothing real magical about it. Just make sure that I draw in the polyline and it's drawn that these lines are parallel with each other. Base. And trim. The hatch pattern wasn't working because I didn't have a closed shape. Okay. Go to hatch. Pick a point, and then I'll just change the properties after the fact. There might be a way to do that beforehand, but that's okay. I'll change it over here. That one needs to be architectural concrete. There it is. Very nice. Okay. Again, this one here is going to go to sand. Okay. And then to do the earth pattern, I need a closed loop. So I need to close off this area temporarily so that I'm going to draw a temporary polyline so that I can then have a closed shape to be able to hatch both sides. So I'm going to draw in a temporary polyline that I'm just going to go back and erase after I'm done with it. Polyline. And hatch this one. Going back to the same hatch. Pick a point and change that over to earth. There it is. Very good. Probably have to change the scale to something bigger. 15 maybe. And can we change the rotation angle? Looks, oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay. P line here. Just draw a temporary P-line to fill in the hatch pattern. Hatch. I know that if I type a dash H, it will give me the shortcut. And I wonder if I can match properties. Sure can. Very nice. Okay. I think as far as the object, that's pretty much drawn already. Now dimensions and text. So for the dimensions and text, just like how we did this one, you need to go and insert that block. You'll have to upload it first. That's the one I fixed for you. Dimension styles, arch for web app, all scales, and insert that block. And place it. Okay. Upload it, but before anything, I need to figure out what scale am I going to use, because remember, this one I brought it in with all the different scales. So it's nice for you people on the web app. You just simply copy the styles, text, multi-leaders for whatever scale you need because they've been created for you. So the next thing we need to do is figure out our scales. So let's go to layout 1 and create our new viewport. I'm sure there's a way how to do it, but I think I'm just going to copy this viewport since it's there already. And then I'm going to use this one here. It's set up already. I'm just going to make it smaller and then move it into place. Since it's already here, I just at this moment don't remember how to create a viewport in the web app. So within this viewport, we're going to unlock it. And then inside the viewport, we're going to zoom over. And I think for the most part, we decided to use a grip the viewport. We're going to use a 3/4 inch equals a foot scale. That's what we did on the software, and I think it worked pretty nicely. Once we have our viewport set up, 3/4 inch, I'm going to go ahead and lock it. And now we know that we're going to be using a 3/4 inch equals a foot. So when I go back to my views, model space, I'm going to go to 3/4 inch equals a foot scale. Just need to look for that. Where is it? There we go. So this is the one we're going to be using. So from here, you just simply copy whatever dimensions you need and start placing them. I need that to be 1 foot. So grip the dimension, over to the right place. And just simply copy dimensions, text styles, multi-layer styles, notes from the 3/4 inch equals a foot scale, and start placing all your notes and dimensions based on this information here for the 3/4 inch equals a foot. Be the finished floor. Okay. Finished floor level. Edit the text. And once you go to your layout, you'll see that you have text heights that are the same height in paper space. Yet they are different in the model space. But again, that's because of our scale factors. That should be enough to be able to finish our footing details.